Okay, guys, I'm sorry, something happened before, so now you're gonna have a second part of the video. Okay, I stopped when I was doing the Spanish version, so let me continue with the Spanish part. So, les decía, muchachos, entonces que esta X pasa a ser todo esto que está aquí, ok. So, voy a usar la segunda ecuación que es 2 paréntesis y en vez de X voy a usar negativo 2y más 10, ok. Cierro paréntesis porque la X es todo eso. Menos y, continúo, igual a 5. ¿Ok? Y ahora a resolver de aquí para allá, todo el mundo sabe hacer eso porque es la propiedad distributiva. Entonces queremos encontrar el valor de y. So, déjenme regresar al inglés. Okay, guys, so now we have to go back to solve for y. Okay, remember, they have to be the same variable so I can find that value. Okay, tiene que ser la misma variable para encontrar el valor de esa variable. Si tengo dos variables distintas, no lo voy a poder hacer. Okay, como es el caso de aquí. Okay, por eso no lo puedo resolver de esa forma. So, let's distribute. 2 times negative 2 will give you negative 4y. 2 times 10 is positive 20. I'm going to bring down my y equals 5. Okay. 2 por negativo 2 es 4y. 2 por positivo 10 es positivo 20. Bajo el negativo y igual a 5. Now let's combine like terms. Okay. Combinemos familias. Negative 4 plus negative 1 will give you negative 5y. Bring down the 20 equals 5, and we have two-step equations, okay? Tenemos una ecuación de dos pasos. So, we're going to eliminate the constant first. So, minus 20, all right? That will give you negative 5y equals negative 15. Now, we divide by negative 5, y equals positive 3, okay? So, I found y, now I have to find x. So remember, use the first equation when the x is already isolated. So let me just copy that right here, okay? I'm gonna use this equation. I don't think I don't have enough space, but I'm gonna squeeze it right here. So I'm gonna write x equals negative 2y plus 10, okay? So now this y becomes what? Becomes 3. So x equals negative 2 parenthesis 3 plus 10. And you can put that in the calculator, all right? So negative 2 times 3 is negative 6 plus 10 is 4. So x equals 4. So the solution set for this one, okay, is going to be 4 comma 3, okay? So let me just write it over here, please. 4 comma 3. That is the solution set for that system of equations. So la solución a este sistema, muchachos, es 4,3. Recuerden que la x va primero, all right? Ustedes saben hacer el proceso, ya, aunque no lo haya explicado en español, ustedes lo entienden. So let's check, right? So to check, we're going to put here 4, comma 3. Remember that x comes first. You don't have to do the check in the homework, okay? No tienen que chequear en la tarea. So this x becomes 4 equals negative 2, parenthesis, y is 3, plus 10. 4 equals negative 2 times 3 is negative 6 plus 10. And negative 6 plus 10 is 4. Remember, you have $10, you spend 6, you have 4 left. So that works. So let's see if it works in the second one. 2 parentheses, what is the value of x? 4 minus the value of y, which is 3. That should be equal to 5. 2 times 4 is 8. Bring down the negative 3. 8 minus 3 is 5, and 5 equals 5, so that works. Okay? So to check is easy. Para comprobar, nada más tienen que reemplazar los valores de x y y en las dos ecuaciones. Y tiene que dar lo mismo en ambos lados, ¿ok? Si no le da lo mismo en ambos lados, se habrán equivocado. So let's continue with number 2. Number 2 is the same thing. Here, I'm giving you the y is isolated. Remember, yesterday I gave you a monomial, so I will give you something like y equals negative x. But now y is equal a binomial. So now that means that this y becomes all this, okay? So I'm going to bring down the 3x minus 4 parentheses, because now this y becomes all this. Negative x plus 6, all right, equals 4. Everybody knows how to do this for now, okay? Muchachos, no lo tengo que explicar en español. Ustedes saben lo que tienen que hacer, distribuir y resolver, okay? So I'm going to bring down the 3x. Negative 4 times negative x is going to give you positive 4x. Negative 4 times positive 6 is going to give you negative 24 equals 4. Now if we combine line terms, we're going to combine this with that. 3 plus 4 is 7x. Remember, don't do minus 3 minus 3. You don't do the opposite operation only when it travels to the other side of the equation. But in this case, neither one are traveling. They are still in the same place, okay? Minus 24 equals 4. Now we have two-step equations. Plus 24 plus 24. You have 7x equals 28. And if you divide by 7, x equals 4. All right? So now we have to find y. What are we going to do? We're going to use the first equation, remember, okay? The one that is already isolated. Y equals negative x plus 6. So y equals negative. What's the value of x? 4. So we write it down. And negative 4 plus 6 is positive 2. You have $6 and you spend 4, you have 2 left. So the solution for this system is 4, 2. And remember, we're going to have to check, all right? So pretty much you're going to have one of each. 2 problems for the homework. And remember that, guys, okay? Remember, you don't have to check. Now, you're not going to have a word problem, but I'm going to do one with you guys so you can become familiar, right? How the word problems work. All right, let me just double up my paper here so I can have space. And here we go. Okay. It is saying one in Spanish and English, all right? So this is the Spanish version, that's the English version. Okay. John purchased 8 t-shirts and 5 pairs of pants for $220, right? The next day, he purchased 5 t-shirts and 1 pair of pants for $112. How much does each t-shirt and each pair of pants cost? So what we're doing here, we're going to find the unit price of a t-shirt and a unit price of a pants, okay? So let me rephrase it in Spanish. Even though it's in Spanish, I want to just read it in Spanish. Muchachos, John compró 8 camisetas o poloches, como dicen, y 5 pantalones por $220. El siguiente día compró 5 poloches o camisetas y un pantalón por $102. ¿Cuánto cuesta cada camisa y cuánto cuesta cada pantalón? Vamos a buscar el precio por unidad de cada artículo, all right? So, remember guys, the first thing you have to do is this. Listen, this is something that we're not going to do, but this will be a little more complicated problem to solve using substitution. The best way for this will be using elimination, but we're going to learn that, in the next 2 days. But we're going to do this using elimination, and you're going to see why I told you that I didn't make it that difficult, all right? Because this is difficult, but you don't have to worry because you don't have this in the homework. So the first thing you have to do is assign your variables, okay? You're talking about 2 different items, t-shirts and pants. So the first thing you have to do is identify your variables. So we're gonna let x equals t-shirts, right? And y is gonna be pants. Because remember guys, we don't know, okay? You can also put y as a t-shirts and x as pants. It doesn't matter. But once you identify your variables, you can create 2 equations. So remember, John, the first day he bought 8 t-shirts. That means he bought 8x. Plus he bought how many pairs of pants? 5. And how do you represent the pants? With y. So they're gonna be 5y equals 220 because that's how much he spent. These variables identify each item, but when you're going to solve, you have to use the price, the amount of money that you pay, okay? I mean, the amount of items that you bought of each one. Now, the next day he went back. What happened the next day? The next day he bought 5 t-shirts, that means 5x, and he bought 1 pair of pants, so that means just 1y, you don't have to put the 1. How much did he spend? $112. Now look, this is the perfect setting for elimination, but because we're doing substitution, we have to do substitution. Ok, muchachos, este sistema que está aquí, ¿verdad? Está justo para resolverlo usando eliminación, porque eliminación es más fácil. Pero como estamos usando sustitución, vamos a sustitución. Acuérdense, de esto no tienen en la tarea, ¿ok? Solo tienen dos, uno de cada uno de los de arriba. Okay, guys, so look, because we're doing substitution, so we have to do substitution. But remember, the first rule for substitution is to make sure we have one variable isolated in either of the two equations, okay? Remember, the first step is to make sure that we have one equation when one of the variables is alone in one side of the equation. So as you can see, neither one of these two has one of the variables isolated. So we have to pick one of those two and make sure we isolate one of the variables. If you notice, the second one, it will be easier to isolate for y, because the only thing I have to do is just bring the 5x to that side, and I will have already my y isolated. So if I want to isolate the y, okay, so remember, let me just refresh your mind. Remember, you don't have this on your homework. Isolate y, okay? So to isolate y, okay, let me write here, on second equation. So that means that the 5x have to go to the other side, okay? So I cancel my 5, my y will stay here, and remember, I cannot combine these two because this is a constant and this one has a variable. So you're gonna write it separate, minus 5x plus 112, or you can write 112 minus 5x. It doesn't matter how you write it. So now I have the y isolated. So what am I going to do now? Now I'm going to substitute this y into this one, ¿ok? Ahora que tengo la y despejada, muchachos, ¿ok? Porque es lo primero que tengo que hacer. Y se me hacía más fácil despejar esta porque solo paso el 5x para este lado y la y me queda sola. So ahora lo que voy a hacer es sustituir este valor en la primera ocasión, en esta que está aquí. So what I'm going to do then, I'm going to write, okay, isolate y. So this is what I did. So I'm going to do step by step. Remember, guys, the only reason why I'm doing this is because I want to make sure that you think that it's not that simple, okay? There is more difficult as you go along because you have to learn more and more. But because we're doing summer school and I just want you to learn the basic, I'm happy with that, okay? So I'm just I'm exposing you, I'm giving you a taste of what we'll be doing if we'll be in a regular school, okay, year. But because we have more time during the year than during summer school. So now we have to substitute this one into the first equation. So I'm gonna write 8x plus 5y equals to 20. Now this y becomes all this. So I'm gonna keep my 8x plus 5. Now instead of y, what am I gonna write? Negative 5x plus 112 equals 220. And now I'm going to solve. First, I have to distribute. 5 times negative 5 will give you negative 25x. And 5 times 112, okay, that will be plus to begin with. 5 times 2 is 10, carry 1. 5 times 1 is 1, and 1 is 6, and 5 times 1 is 5, so 560 equals 220. But you know what? Let me just make sure, okay? Because, you know, sometimes my brain is not functioning properly. And that way, I was right, 560. So now let's combine family, these two. You have $8 and you spend 25. You don't have enough, so you'll be short $17. So write negative 17x plus 560 equals 220. And we have two-step equations, okay? We're gonna eliminate the constant first. When I do that, okay, that goes away and I have negative 17x equals negative, I think 560 minus 220, you get 340, all right? Now remember, I have to divide by 17. So let me just copy that here because I have one more step to do. Negative 17x equals negative 340. Now I'm going to divide by negative 17. I'm going to divide by negative 17. So remember, guys, when we're talking about real world problems, you cannot have negative values, okay? So 340 divided by 17, and it's going to be positive, it's 20. So that means that x is 20. So now that I have x, I have to find the value of y. So I'm going to substitute this one here. So y equals negative 5 times 20 plus 112. Negative 5 times 20 is negative 100 plus 112, and y equals positive 12. You have $112, you spend 100, you have 12 left. So now I have my two values. But remember, guys, since we not looking for this alike, you don't have to write it as an order pair because you have to answer the question. The question says, how much does each t-shirt and each pair of pants cost? So we know that t-shirts are represented by the letter X, which is X. So that means that one t-shirt cost $20. You only have to answer the question. And one pair of pants costs $12. All right, that would be your answer. So when you have a word problem, you do not write the answer as an order pair. You answer the question. Okay, guys, remember, for my Spanish-speaking kids, this is not going to be in the homework. I know you understand if you follow what I did, okay? And I'm pretty sure you'll get it. But then again, you don't have this in the homework, so don't have to worry about it. Just do your best you can. And remember to log in, please. Period 1 from 9:30 to 10, and period 2 from 11 to 11:30, Monday through Thursday for the live sessions, okay? So that counts as attendance. Please try to log in those days. And I'll see you next time. Bye.